So, Julie,
Hi.
I notice you've been commenting on my driving a little bit less frequently than in the past.
Yes.
What's up?
John drives like an old man. He drives slow, and he doesn't always pay attention to what's going on. He never gets in any accidents, so he always pays attention enough.
No accidents, no tickets. It's been a long time. So I was 19 last time I had a ticket.
Yeah. So sometimes I would correct him or remind him to pass a car or such. But about a month and a half or so ago, I read a book called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. And one of the things he talks about is slowing down. And so I started doing some of the things he suggested to slow down. And one of which is I am driving the speed limit, which feels very slow. I'm not a speed demon, but I go a little bit over the speed limit. But to stay at the speed limit, it's very interesting. And it has calmed my body and calmed my mind and my soul. So that when I'm riding with John and he's driving, I'm not in a hurry. If he wants to go slow, then he can go slow. And I'm just not worried about it. So it's been freeing for me and probably less annoying for you.
Well, let me just say, driving is boring, and there's so many interesting things to think about that sometimes they take precedence.
Right.
Well, what's the difference between 70 and 75? That's like a 6% difference. It seems pretty small.
It does. And so really, it doesn't change much about the time that you get to some place. That's what I have found. That it's not that big of a difference.
But how does that 6% difference, it's not that big of a difference in terms of arrival time.
Right.
But you're saying it's a bigger difference in terms of your soul and your emotions and things like that.
Yeah, so much of our world right now, our culture and our lives are just hurry, hurry, hurry. We got to get somewhere. We got to do this. We can't be late. Da, da. And I think it's wearing on us. I know it's worn on me, and I'm feeling frazzled a lot. I have been, which is why I started doing some of these things. And there's something about having that limit of the speed and just keeping yourself at that. And it keeps you calmer when you're driving. And that translates into more calmness when you get to where you're going.
Yeah, so I think there's the actual speed and it's less dangerous. Probably the more you go over the speed limit, the more dangerous it is.
Right.
I'm sure someone has quantified that. But I think what's going on is you're prioritizing different things. Other things are important besides being fast or beating the car in front of you or rushing or squeezing the maximum amount out of everything.
Right.
And so that's a different disposition. It's a different set of priorities.
Right.
Yeah. There's a story Jesus told about a father who had two sons, and he told them to go work in the field. And the first one said, "Yes, Father, I will," but ended up loafing and flaking off. And the second one said, "No, I'm not going to." But then he had a change of mind, or he changed his mind is what it says in English. The Greek word really means he changed what was important to him. He changed his priorities.
Yeah.
And doing what his dad asked was more important than the loafing or goofing around that he had in mind. And so what you're talking about is changing your priorities from optimizing every second to what?
Enjoying every second, if possible.
From optimizing to enjoying?
Yeah, being more mindful of each moment instead of trying to rush to the next moment.
Okay.
So as I'm driving the speed limit, I'm noticing things around me. The last month, the fall colors were amazing, and I just kept enjoying them as I'm driving the speed limit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I notice different homes or cars or whatever, things that I sometimes didn't notice before because I was in such a hurry.
Someone asked Dallas Willard to describe Jesus in one word. Do you know the word that he used?
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
What he said was relaxed. And that's such a strange idea. Jesus relaxed? But think about it. He could sleep in a boat in the storm. It didn't bother him when people had agendas or had evil in their hearts toward him. He could be cool in the middle of that.
Right.
And he was on trial, and he didn't seek to defend himself or persuade people, and relaxed. So.
And the other thing is he allowed himself to be interrupted. He was relaxed enough in his schedule and not in a hurry that he had space, and not only physical space but mental space to be interrupted. So when I think about when he was going to the military leader whose daughter had died.
Jairus.
His daughter had died.
Leader of the synagogue.
Thank you. Then this woman came up and touched him.
Right.
And poor Jairus is probably over the side saying, come on, we gotta go. And Jesus is taking his time and helping this woman who had an issue of blood for 12 years and healed that woman, and also told Jairus something to the effect of, don't worry, just believe.
Do not fear.
Yeah.
Only believe.
And so by slowing ourselves down, not just the speed limit, but in other areas of our lives, we give space for interruptions. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when Devin, our son, gets home from school, he wants to chat. And if I can allow that space, then I'm building that relationship.
But you're not optimizing the seconds.
I'm not.
So you're changing what's important to you.
Yes.
Cool.